Hey guys, what's going on? It's Joel Tavares here with Al Zamora. You're watching DualShockers TV on DualShockers.com. We are here at the Square Enix event. We just checked out Drakengard 3. Now, it's been 8 years, again, since they've last shown us Drakengard, and things have changed quite a bit. So we had a little presentation with the game's producer, and he gave us a little eyes-on demonstration on what gamers can expect when Drakengard does release in Japan and then eventually now in the West as of the news this morning. So, Al, I'll let you take it away. You were jotting down a lot of notes, and we'll just go back and forth.
Well, we had some interesting discussions with him. A lot of the discussion revolved around, it's been 8 years. A lot of things have changed in the industry. The producer as a whole was just mentioning the fact that the core market is kind of shrinking in Japan and the casual market is taking over. A lot of those mobile gamers and mobile phone gamers kind of getting onto the scene, which is making it more difficult for them to produce titles or quality titles and things that they can make money on. Development costs are going up and the market is shrinking. Those are his exact words, which just kind of put things in perspective for me when we were sitting there talking to him. And then, obviously he's talking about Drakengard and how it fits in, Drakengard 3. And this is not a casual game by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all. He actually, I was going to say, he addressed it right in the beginning of the presentation because as soon as they were talking about the whole casual versus core gamer thing, I mentioned what some of the outspoken Japanese devs have said. Inafune-san, known for from Capcom and the Mega Man days, and his outspokenness about how Japanese developers have to become more westernized. And then we addressed it with the game's producer, and he said, this is not that kind of approach to it. This is very much a Japanese RPG through and through.
And it was interesting. There definitely are, undertones where they're trying to make it westernized, down to even the posters. They had two versions of posters where one was very Japanese, had the main character and her 5 sisters on the cover, and then the westernized version, which was just the main character soaked in blood, with the dragon behind her.
Sounds about right. Sounds pretty Western to me.
It was a thing of beauty, and we asked him, about that, and he said bluntly, yeah, that's exactly what they're going for. They have. Even down to how they're campaigning and promoting this is very, very unique to compare to how it is. And one of the things they mentioned was that when promoting this title, less is more. They're not going to tell us about this game. They're not going to spoon feed you information. You're not going to get a press release saying, hey, this is X, Y, and Z. Very much the opposite. It's a very much of a mystery of what's going on. Very different. It's not a hero per se. They even label it an anti-hero.
Right.
She's not. The main character isn't out to save the world. She's not out to save kittens or puppies. She's actually out to kill people. The main point of the story is for her to kill her 5 sisters. And the mystery behind it is how she's going to do it,
and
why she's going to do it, why she gets covered in blood, why she has a flower growing out of her head. There's a lot of questions that kind of get thrown into the mix, more than answers, which I actually kind of liked.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely very unique. I guess we could touch a little bit about what we saw right now in the demo. I'll touch on the gameplay. I can say that the combat felt, I don't want to say like a traditional, obviously it's definitely not turn-based, so this is all real. It's a real-time action JRPG, and it was reminiscent almost of 99 Nights kind of combat early on. I mean, you can mix up the weapons and stuff like that. Maybe a little Dynasty Warriors sprinkled in a little bit.
A little Bayonetta almost.
A little Bayonetta. It was, it definitely feels like a Japanese game through and through. But then there's, again, they want to make sure that your attention is not focused solely on that battle system. They want to make sure they deliver a story, and that's one thing that the game's producer focused on heavily.
And one of the interesting things, a perfect segue, is to promote that story. They're not telling you this. That you're going to actually can go online and get graphic novels. So there's going to be graphic novels that are going to be released up until the game comes out. Novellas. They're going to give you kind of the backstory to the characters and why they do the things that they do. One of the examples they gave was that one of the sisters is a vegetarian, and there's some inside jokes in there that are kind of geared towards that. You have to know that information. If not, you're just kind of the dude in the corner wondering where that joke went. And it's very much a mature game. There's nothing kiddie-ish, nothing casual. Blood is core to the game. There's blood on the character. There's blood on the enemies. There's blood on the floor. There's
on the
blood
screen.
On the screen. When she gets covered in blood, it triggers a superpower, which is called an intoner. It's very geared to, killing, doing damage. very much an anti-hero story.
I mean, even the hero was the way she interacted, because she does have like companions, which is very like a friendly, like, oh, those are my companions kind of thing. But yeah, no, she she has
until you find out about the companions.
right, until she's like a jerk to the companions too. So it's funny watching the main character interact with the other characters in the game, and just to speak further into the game's dark undertone, the other companions that you'll meet,
awesome.
one is apparently a masochist,
Yes.
that lives into pain. Another character is a dirty old man, which is always nice, right? And the last one is the quintessential hero, you know, the average, you know, I don't want to say Final Fantasy, let's just say fantasy pretty boy character, but he gets nothing right, so he's just always wrong. Think like Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, I guess, right? That would be the best way to kind of describe his kind of character. But overall, I mean, the game is definitely interesting, definitely different to what you'd expect from a JRPG, and hats off to them, and hats off to showing, you know what, we can do something a little unique, something a little different, and telling you guys as players, this is for a core audience through and through. Make no mistake about it. This isn't for the casuals at all, and I don't know, kudos to Square Enix for that.
Yeah, they're going out on a ledge. They're taking a risk, hopefully a very calculated risk, because they know it. They know it's going to be something very different than what they're used to.
Challenging is the word.
Challenging was the word. You know, it's a cognizant thing that they're doing. They're putting something out there that's very different. So if you're a JRPG gamer out there that's kind of been there, done that, played that, this is going to be something that's very different. You know, yeah, if you know Drakengard, great, but this is going to go kind of down a dark alley in a dark street in a dark neighborhood. So
place you don't want to go, but it'll be fun.
It's going to take you places. So it's definitely interesting. Was just announced for 2014 here on the western side. Japan will get it a little sooner.
Right.
So you know, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more coming for Drakengard.
Definitely stay tuned. That's Drakengard 3. We just gave you our eyes on impressions. You're watching DualShockers TV on DualShockers.com, and we're out.